Hey guys, Cody Hoffine here, the founder of the Real Estate Freedom Formula, the 3-step process that allows people to make money wholesaling real estate and ultimately quit their day job. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 biggest fears that holds people back from getting into this wholesaling real estate game. So stick with me because I'm going to share some personal stories, because these same 3 big fears were my same 3 big fears as well. I'm gonna break them down for you, give you a real life story with it. So we're gonna head up to the office so we can break this down. Now, while you're here, I want you to hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell so it alerts you when we update fresh new content delivering for you, so you can get out there and do your next deal. Now let's head upstairs. All right guys, let's break this down. Let's get right into the actual first one that we have. Now, right here in my office, you may hear some noise, you might hear my team in the background, but we're gonna get right through this. So your first one, the one that I even had these same fears going on in my life, and I hear it often, is what if? What if I fail? What if I get into this and I fail? That is a very, very valid fear that you have to recognize first and foremost, but then you've got to ask the right questions. Here's what happened to me. I was already on this road of kind of failing. And I don't really believe in failure unless you completely just give up. But I was on this road of failing, meaning just a few years ago, less than 5 years ago, guys, I came home to my wife. I came home early from work, wanted to surprise her. I walk inside and my wife's crying at the dinner table. And her head's down. I walk over to her and she looks up and there's been tears coming down. It's like her mascara's all spread everywhere. And she looks up and she doesn't know how she's gonna pay the mortgage. After I ask her, I'm like, what's going on? Doesn't know how she's gonna pay for the mortgage, doesn't know how we're gonna put food on the table. And I just remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm failing as a dad. I'm failing as a husband. And at that point, we had 3 kids. So this was tough to hear, right? So I was already in my mind, like, I'm already failing. So think about this word, what if I fail? I want you to ask yourself, see if it kind of correlates with my story. I was already failing. I already wasn't making enough money. It was already tough for me. And so in my mind, I'm like, I'm already at rock bottom. And at rock bottom, I feel like is the best foundation to start all over. Like, rock is the greatest foundation to build on. And so here I am at rock bottom, and I think this is my time now to shine and move forward. So here's your question. I got this told to me from a mentor from years ago, and I'll never forget it, and I want to share with you. I want you to think of where you're at right now. And I want you to think about this. I want you to find someone 5 years that's in the same industry. So I want you to think of someone that's 5 years ahead of you in the same industry, maybe even the same position. And I want you to look at their life. And I want you to think, is it get better in 5 years if I'm in that position? Or does this rat race continue to go forward? Does this pain continue? For me, I was looking at, okay, 5 years ahead, what does that look like? And I knew people that were 5 years ahead of me in the industry, and I still saw the pain. I still saw the struggle to make ends meet. I still saw the paycheck to paycheck living. And so I knew in that moment I needed to make something change, that the career wasn't going to change anything. It was this guy. I had to look in the mirror and say, if I want life to get better, it's me that has to get better. If I want life to change, it's me that's going to have to change. So I want you to ask those questions, because that is a big fear and it's a real fear. But I think if you really dig deep, for some of you may find out you don't need to get in real estate, because 5 years from now, you're going to be in a great position. But for many individuals, you're probably going to connect with my story, and it's still going to be the same tough situation. So now's the time to go all in on you. Don't worry about failing. Right now, you have a pivotal moment to make the change for the better. Let's go on to now what I call fear number 2 is, how can I compete? And I remember thinking this, guys. I remember thinking, how do I compete? It wasn't long ago, it was during that same time, right? I'm sitting there, I come home, and I see my wife crying. Well, it happened to be a few days later, I go to this Real Estate Investor Association meeting. And this guy stands up and he shares his success story that he just did a deal in 3 days' time, meaning he found a discounted property, sold it 3 days later, made $29,000. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, like, what would it be to have $29,000 come in for a whole year? Because my first year insurance, I made 19. He did it in 3 days, guys. So I just remember sitting there thinking, oh, I'm on the wrong side of the table. I need to jump over here. But instantly I thought, how am I going to compete with that? That guy sounds like he knows what he's doing. And there's other investors in this room. How will I compete with these guys? I want you to think of it this way. We're all going to the ocean with 5-gallon buckets. There's more than enough water for every single one of us. And faith-based, guys, I really do believe God's going to provide for you like he's going to provide for me, or whether you want to call it karma or the universe is going to provide for you as it's going to provide for me. Whatever your belief system, I believe God is aware of you and your family and is aware of me and my family, and he's going to help provide if we're doing what we need to be doing. There's deals meant for you and there's deals meant for me. There is no such thing as competition, just collaboration. And I want you to always remember that. Have an abundant mindset. Don't constrict yourself that there's competition out there. You can do it. In no time, not very long, in 5 years, I'm now the top wholesaler. And I don't say that with pride. I don't say it with ego. I'm sharing with you because I was the underdog. I was the guy that was worried about how am I going to compete. And now in 5 years have built it up to the point where we're the #1 wholesaling company in the state of Utah. But it's because I was willing to put forth the effort, the consistency to overcome it. Now, guys, I want you to look over my shoulder real quick because I really want to show you something that's interesting. If you look here, I'm going to pull up some very unique lists, for example. I want you to see how abundant the deals are. So here we have a list of individuals that are behind on taxes, for example. Remember, in wholesaling, we're either going to find people that are in a distressed situation or properties that are in a distressed situation. This right here is a distressed situation, and we have people behind on taxes. Guys, this list goes on and on and on and on. I think it's well over 4,000 people on this that it's a potential that could be a deal. Guys, that's just one of many, many lists. In fact, these are the same lists that I show each one of my students how to get in each one of their markets as well. We have one that I call like code violation, people with high grass. On this list, there's 427 people. Do you see how there's so many different opportunities, unique opportunities for all of us, not just one person? And by the way, this is just one county. This is not all the surrounding counties. This is just Salt Lake County that we're talking about. So a ton of deals. I want you to think about it in occupation-wise. Realtors, I know hundreds of realtors, but yet I know also hundreds of successful realtors. There's more than enough deals for all of us. So have the abundant mindset and accomplish and escape this mindset that, oh, how do I compete? Don't worry about competing. Just collaborate and grow and get consistent. That's it. You can do this. Now let's go to our third and final fear. And the third one is, I need a lot of money. Now guys, you just heard a brief little story about me, so I already want to help you understand that I didn't have much money. I was living worse than paycheck to paycheck. Instead of paycheck to paycheck, I had more month left at the end of the paycheck. When the paycheck ended, I still had half a month left. There was still too many days left. So I want you to understand that I had this fear too. I'm like, oh no, I need a ton of money getting real estate. Here's the beautiful thing though. You do not need a lot of money to get in real estate. Now, is it free? No, nothing's free in life. There is going to be some marketing cost, whether that is you physically driving around the neighborhoods and looking for distressed properties. Maybe it's sending out direct mail. Maybe it's picking up the phone and directly calling people or door knocking, whatever method works for you. And I have videos that talk about those different strategies. But at the end of the day, guys, you don't need a lot of money when it comes to wholesaling real estate. Maybe that's true to do fix and flips. Maybe that's true when you're buying rentals. But wholesaling, you do not. Instead of going way deep in this video, because I want to keep it short just so we can help you overcome these fears so you get out of your own way and make money, you should see a banner pop up that's going to lead you to the video where I break down wholesaling and break down why you don't need this money that we're talking about, why you don't need to have all the money in the world and why only the rich people can get into real estate. That's a myth. It doesn't exist. You definitely can get into real estate with not much money. Does it take some? Yes. And go over to that banner, like I said, click on it. Or if not, click on the link down below that we'll provide for you. So we'll send you to that video where we do this breakdown of wholesaling real estate and how you get through it and how you're able to do it with just a lot of grit, a lot of determination, a lot of confidence, a lot of consistency so you can get deals while money's tight like it was for me. Now guys, I hope that this video has helped you just in a little way overcome the 3 biggest fears that I'm always hearing and that I myself had to work through to get into this wholesaling real estate game. I hope this helped you guys. While you're here, I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit the bell so it alerts you when we put fresh new content up that we're gonna be doing weekly. But then also, guys, if you have any other fears, I want you to know that down below, if you're willing to do it, like I know it takes some courage to do it and show people some of your fears, but please share down below comments of like other real fears that are going on in your life of why maybe you haven't gotten to the game yet, or why maybe when you did, you didn't do it all the way like you should have. And I'll make a part 2 to this video, overcoming other fears and helping you guys do that so you can get out of your way, get out there with this 3-step process of making money wholesaling real estate so that you can ultimately quit your day job. So guys, thank you so much for being with me. God bless you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.